Hey everyone, One Big Boss here, and I figured I would take this time to talk about everything that's been going on in the last couple of days, as far as Nintendo news anyway. It's been pretty big for Nintendo right now with their talk of the Wii U coming out November 18th. It's got a lot of people excited. It's actually piqued my interest because when I first heard that Nintendo was making a new system, I was kind of like not interested. People always ask me like where my allegiance is in the world of gaming, and they want me to say like, are you with Capcom? Are you with Nintendo? Are you with Sony, Microsoft? And honestly, I play pretty much everything. I mean, growing up, like Nintendo was pretty much all you had until the Sega came out, and then the PlayStation One coming out in like the mid '90s. So I pretty much played them all. I own them all. I've got like my little library over here filled with all the systems I've owned over the years. So the thing of it is, I just really wasn't too psyched up at first for the Wii U. Not at all. Like I didn't really feel that I needed to go out and buy it. I kind of do now after what I've seen from their launch titles and stuff, but I don't know. To me, I just don't feel that I am ready to drop $350 on a new system where only two of the games I would really enjoy playing. Um, Gaiden Razors Edge and Bayonetta 2 when that comes out. I don't really know uh, why so many people are getting. Well, I do understand why people are getting so angry and upset with the fact that Bayonetta 2 is on the Wii U and no other system. You have to remember, Bayonetta 2 originally was on the 360. And then they decided, nope, we got to port this over to the PS3. So they did. Unfortunately, it was like a direct port, and it wasn't really that good. It was slow. It was clunky. The visuals got bogged down heavily. It wasn't a beautiful looking game on the PS3. I mean, I still loved it and enjoyed it, but the 360 is where it shines, and I don't really say that much about 360 stuff. But you also have to take into the fact that this is something that has happened throughout many years of gaming. The jumping of games to various systems. One of the best franchises I can pretty much tell you that has done this is Kingdom Hearts. Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 came out on the PlayStation 2, and from then on, it pretty much spread to virtually every other system. We had the what was it? Chain of Memories for the Game Boy Advance. We had a DS game, a 3DS game, PSP game. I don't think I'm missing any one of those. So the series jumped around, and they just weren't like little spin-offs or anything like that. They were like a story that was canon to Kingdom Hearts itself. And another series that has done this is my favorite series of all time, Resident Evil. That is a series that has been on multiple different platforms of gaming. It started off with the PlayStation 1, and it was Resident Evil 1, 2, and 3. Then, we had Resident Evil, not Dead Aim, Resident Evil Gun Survivor for the PlayStation 1, and then we also had Code Veronica, which came out for the Dreamcast, and that was a phenomenal looking game on the Dreamcast. It really pushed the new graphic level. So people were upset back then. I mean, I was because I was really a little kid back then. I was like, oh, why do I have to get this new system and stuff? But I got the system anyway because Sonic Adventure looked great on that, and a couple of other games I played at the time. I think Power Stone was one of the other ones that my buddy had. So it got me hooked. I had to get it, and I did. And then it went on to Resident Evil Zero was going to be on the N64, but they canceled that. And then of course it got made on the GameCube after the success of the original Resident Evil being remade for the Cube. So that's again right there another system it's gone on. Plus Resident Evil Gaiden that was on the Game Boy Color, even though that's not really canon. What else do we have? Resident Evil 1, the director's cut was ported to the DS for Deadly Silence. And we can't forget about Resident Evil The Mercenaries 3D or Resident Evil Revelations for the 3DS. Now, that's a lot of jumping around for the stories and stuff, or just like individual games in general. Whether you're following the series for its story or its gameplay or characters, it all depends. And Metal Gear is another system, another series that has, gone off and done their own thing on various other systems. Now, I know a lot of people were ticked off when Peace Walker was announced for the PlayStation Portable because not a lot of people at that point the PlayStation Portable was was pretty much dead when Peace Walker came out. Not a lot of people played the the PlayStation Portable. I did, but I mainly just played the Yu-Gi-Oh! Tag Force games on it, Breath of Fire 3, and if I ever go on vacation or I'm going on the road, I take my PSP and I load it up with PS1 classics like Resident Evil and all the other ones I've downloaded off the PSN. So yeah, like I can understand why people are upset about this stuff, but it's like I said, like a Metal Gear. It's a series that is just it's gone to other systems. Started on PlayStation 1, ended up on PlayStation 2. Actually, two games on PlayStation 2: Metal Gear Solid 2, Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater, and Metal Gear Solid 4 finally came out, but it was on the PS3, and that is still probably one of the best looking and greatest PS3 games I've played to this date. And now Peace Walker had come out. Plus, you can't forget that you had Portable Ops and the Acid series of Metal Gear, which really weren't like continuations. They were their own little spin-offs. Had nothing to do with the main story. But then when Peace Walker came out, that was a game, probably the best game. I'm not saying that because like I'm a huge Metal Gear fan and stuff like that. They really pushed they made up for their mistakes in Portable Ops and just came full circle, realized what they did wrong, realized what they had to do here, here, and here, and they made it work. It worked so well that they ported it in HD to the PS3 and the 360. Now, that's pretty cool, but to me, that game should have been on the PlayStation 3 to begin with. But again, I have no control over that, and that's just the way it is. So that's the way some of these Bayonetta fans have to look at it. Now, yes, Bayonetta is a phenomenal game, awesome characters, it's over-the-top action, it's great. And, like, lots of people want to see, her mix it up with Dante from Devil May Cry, it would be an awesome cross. That's a game that Platinum Games should definitely get behind and do. But in the end, this is just how it is, because if you like wanted Bayonetta to come out on a PS3 or 360, it may have come out, or they could have just waited until their next system, which kind of makes sense, because if you're gonna take a game and make a sequel to a game that's already phenomenal and very original, standout, awesome, you're gonna have to step it up next time. And the way these creators think these days, they think hardware. So they're gonna put it on their newest one, like the PlayStation 4, the Xbox 720, or whatever that is, they're gonna call it. So that's what you got to think about. And I understand, but some people like on Twitter and Tumblr are going like nuts over this, saying that they're not gonna play Bayonetta 2 because it's not on the PS3 or the 360. They're not gonna do this, they're not gonna do that, and that's fine. They can be like that, but some of the people are just it just makes me like, did you really stop and think? I mean, yes, I'm disappointed because I'm gonna have to wait longer to play Bayonetta because I won't be getting a Wii U. It's not my budget right now. It's honestly not something I want. I'm not buying a system for just 2 games. My buddy's doing that, but he's got the money to do that kind of stuff. I don't. Or maybe he does and he's just going to pay for it later. Either way, you just got to realize that these series jump around. These creators, when they want to put it on a new system or a new handheld, they're trying to make it different is the best way to do it. They want money. It's not so much that they want money per se, but they want to keep the series fresh and interesting. They want to do everything possible they can to keep people interested in the series. And I can respect that. I understand that. If it was me, I'd be doing the same thing. I'd be finding different ways to make them better. If the PS3 and the 360 era wasn't coming to an end, I would say, yeah, like they should have put Bayonetta out on that. But this era is ending. And this has been a long era for systems. I mean, 360's been around since, 2004, 2005? I got mine in 2006 when I graduated high school, so... And the PS3's been out since, I think, 2006 as well, 2007? So you gotta think of it. That's kind of a long time for all these systems to be out. Super Nintendo came out, but, Sega wasn't too far behind, and then, there was the PlayStation and the Sega Dreamcast, all this stuff that came out. So we've had a pretty good run, I'd have to say, with these series here. So people are just going to have to, suck it up and realize that this is how it's going to be. I mean, personally, like I said, I can understand where they're coming from, but at the same time, I don't like it because I don't have the money. I will say I'm a little shocked at the Wii U price for games, $60. Nintendo has always kind of been a company that like you could depend on not having to pay an arm and a leg for. I mean, I don't know all the tech specs of what they're doing with these games or what they're doing with the hardware. I don't really follow hardware that well. That's my buddy's job. He does that, not me. But personally, I think 60 is just way too much for some of these games. You know, to me, it just doesn't sit right. I don't even want to think of how much that controller is going to be because you get that pad and everything. I don't even want to know what that's going to run us because a normal controller costs like $60. It's the same as a game for crying out loud. So, I'm betting it's probably going to be maybe $80, maybe 90, maybe 100 because it's like some kind of like tablet looking thing, I don't know. I just really don't know much because the 3DS is what got me kind of like iffy because as you remember, a lot of people got the 3DS. It was supposed to be this amazing thing. Me and Panda Lady dropped $240 on that thing, and let me just tell you, that was not the best investment we both ever made. 6 months of dry games, and then technically, like I said, I don't believe we have a lot of good games per se for the 3DS. You can hate me if you want and everything. I'm not trying to like shit on anybody's parade. If you find a game that you think is great for it, that's good. Because I'm glad some people are getting enjoyment from the 3DS. Sadly, mine kind of just sits in up here and just does nothing. I mean, Resident Evil Revelations was great. To me, that's the best looking game on the 3DS. And many people are like, well, what about Legend of Zelda and all that? But I told them, it's like, look, the Legend of Zelda and Star Fox, those are ports almost, well, remakes from another system from like over 10 years ago that helped define that system. Doing it over in 3D and giving fans what they want, yeah, no, that's good. But Resident Evil Revelations was always intended for the 3DS, and it became a smash hit. So, it's like I said, this is like what we're going through. The gaming world's changed a lot, and it's a very different world than it was 15 years ago, and even then some. So people just got to realize that this is what we deal with now. Maybe if we get lucky enough, if there's enough want, they can port Bayonetta over to the other systems or the newer systems when they come out. Who knows? And Ninja Gaiden Razors Edge, I think that game looks pretty good and it's going to be great. But it also makes me wonder what's going to happen to the Sigma series of Ninja Gaiden. Are we going to get a Ninja Gaiden Sigma 3 or is Razor's Edge considered that? I don't really know. I kind of hope that they give us some kind of Ninja Gaiden Sigma 3. I would really enjoy that because they put Ninja Gaiden Sigma Plus on, Ninja Gaiden Sigma Plus on the PS Vita, and that, to me, I don't know. The Vita's another topic for another time anyway. But if you want to get a Wii U, I say go for it because it may be a good investment for $350, 320 gigs. Free Nintendo Land. You're saving yourself money right there with a free game and more space. So, yeah, like I said, get it if you'd like. This has just been what I think about it and, like, the people's reaction to Wii U, Bayonetta, and how the gaming world has changed over the last couple of years. So, yeah, you can leave comments below in the box. I'd appreciate it. Let me know what you think of what I've talked about today. What are your own personal opinions about what's been going on in the world of gaming? Is the Wii U going to be something you want, or do you think it's going to be a failure? Please let me know because I'd like to get some input from people, and the people who have been giving me input on videos like these, I appreciate it because it helps me think on a different level that I didn't think before, and it's pretty cool. I'm glad to have the feedback from the people. So, yep. Like always, please subscribe because it's free in this day and age. Free is a damn good thing, right? So, because it's not going to cost you $350 to subscribe to my channel. I don't do that quality of work yet. But anyway, yep. As always, this is One Big Boss. I will see you all next time.